You know how they say if you want to make change, start in your own backyard? I've been working on my own garden called an eco garden. I took, in the very beginning, a year to see what would grow in my vegetable garden if I just let it go and do what it wanted to do. And what came up was this small grove of white mulberry trees. Well, these white mulberries, they came over here because people thought that they could make money planting mulberry trees to start the silkworm industry to supplement all the silk mills that were being established in the Northeast. The silk industry in Whitehall was the peak of its economic era. I mean, the early 1900s, it was amazing. It employed like over 4,000 people. There's all this history behind something that's right beneath my own feet. And then I thought, what kind of art can I make out of this? Here's this little plant that is bringing these stories literally back up to the surface. This is super, super specific. It's specific to my backyard, which is also specific to New York State, which is also specific to a lot of other areas as well, because what it's doing is it's encouraging people to go home and look in their own backyards. It's also creating an appreciation of the town, of what it once was, of what it is, and maybe some hope for what it could be.
I'm finally finding my voice. And I'm 62, and I keep telling people I'm an emerging artist. Currently working on land art. My piece that I propose for this fellowship is to talk a little bit about what is my responsibility as a landowner and thinking about the impact of development on land. What I'd love for people to experience is the beauty of the natural landscape. And I'm thinking about, like, what is the new American landscape? Is it now to really think about how houses can fill every inch of the landscape? Or how can we save some of the agricultural lands and the natural lands so that we can hear the birds and see the wildlife? So the proposal is to mow what would be like the roads and every one of the lots, and mow the footprint of or leave the footprint of what a typical 2,000 square foot house would be. Not necessarily anti-development, because I'm not anti-development, but it is about like careful development. What is the impact of art in a rural community? Will what I do on my land really impact anyone else? I don't know. All I can do is put it out there, try to talk to people about it. It's really just a point of conversation, I think. What I have noticed is that everyone has this sense of not being as good or taken seriously because we're not in a city. But I've found that just doesn't really matter. What I've been teaching for 30 years is that it's really in the intention and then the follow through and how you talk about it or discuss it or help other people to see it. And so it took me 62 years.